Thank you, Eda, for your beautiful presentation.
Thank you.
I want to express my pleasure for being today with you, as well as with my colleagues from universities in Elbasan, Tirana, ours University in Struga, and my colleague from Southeast European University, Professor Spetinjev-Tifi. We have been working together there.
It's a pleasure that you are here. Thank you.
Questions. I remember when I have first implemented a virtual machine at my computer, I have been amazed by its ability to protect the host computer from potentially harmful software. For instance, if there is something suspicious for which I'm not sure if it is really safe to implement at my computer, I could first test at my virtual machine, and I will be sure that the host will not be infected. So let this first question be regarding security in virtualization systems. First of all, I want to stress out that your doctorate has been very well done. It is excellent, as well as your presentation. And you have certainly fulfilled the promise given in the title of your thesis, which is to set up an improved algorithm for improving the performances of highly availability systems by the means of virtual machines. About security,
Security is.
I'll say something more. For instance, it is very well done in your doctorate when there is a node which should be repaired for purposes of maintenance. It is shut down regularly.
Yes.
But your contribution is that you are performing the whole process in real time. And you have proved by your tests and experiments and tables, it is all done excellently. You have proved that your algorithms are really improving central processor unit time, costs, memory, bandwidth, and so on. But intuitively, when we add a node into a network, we open the network, and so it is also open to vulnerability. Because when a node is shut down, it is shut down, and at least we know it shouldn't be infected. But when we are doing all in real time, while sharing the files and migrating the information between nodes, together with useful information, we might also share some harmful information. So how do you deal with it?
This is an experimental environment. So when we shut down one of the hosts, all the virtual machine will migrate, will transfer all its process to other hosts that are available for accept all the virtual machines that are set up in this host.
Okay, thank you. Now for the second question. Here in your doctoral thesis, at page 108, you shouldn't open. No, you shouldn't open. I'll read it. You have virtualizimi ăștia tehnică inovative e designuar per territor nivelin e abstracționit sistemit. And so on. Basically, you say virtualization is an innovative technique designed to increase the level of abstraction of the system and enables IT users to make more and more use of computer performance, which is excellent, yes, it is so. But then a question arises, so what is next level of abstraction, you know? How many levels do we need more with higher and higher abstraction to reach a level of artificial intelligence and robotics, you know, when we have not just hypervisor, as in your kernel, but hypervisor of hypervisor, hypervisor, you know.
It depends, yes. I think that this depends in the capacity of hardware.
Yes.
Everything depends on their capacity. So in my project, I have choose the PC that are in later generation, and this can support use 4 virtual machines in one host.
Okay, thank you. Now the third question is regarding adjustability and adaptability of your methods, which are done very well, to other platforms. I know you have this mentioned in your doctoral thesis. For instance, you use fingerprinting algorithms, for instance, hash BD5, but there are also other fingerprinting algorithms, for instance, Rabin's algorithm or SHA-1 algorithm and so on. And these algorithms are constructed in a way that they reduce and encrypt some larger files. So is there possibility in this process of reducing to have one and the same fingerprint for 2 different files, you know? It's like having one fingerprint for 2 different criminals, you know, and we don't know who is the murderer. So is there probability?
For every process that needs to transfer from the first host to second one is used hash model-based function, ND5 function that compress every sequence in 128 bits.
Okay, great. So about adaptability to other platforms, for instance, there is an operation system called GNU. It's a very funny name. It means it is recursive, and it means GNU is not Unix. You know, in GNU, G stands for GNU, is not Unix. It's funny. I know you have mentioned that your methods could be adjusted to Windows. Yes. Okay.
Every kind of this.
Okay, great. Solaris, Mac operating systems,
Yes.
Android,
Yes.
and so on. Thank you.
I mentioned this.
In your thesis, yes, I know.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Professor
Thank you.
Biljana. Okay, any other comment or question is welcome to Eda.
Yes, I have a question. Before I read the thesis, I knew that it was going to be interesting because I knew the mentor of the supervisor of the thesis. So Professor Percinkova is always innovative in terms of prompting from candidates to do experiments, which usually, at least in our environment or in our area or in our country, are not done so much. But thankfully, because it's a virtual environment, so the experiments can be easily done. My question, actually, it has a couple of sub-questions. If you want, I can ask them all together and then you respond, because it's regarding the methodology of the experiments that you carried out. I read the chapter of the environment of experiments, the platform, and also the measurements that you took to test the availability of the system. So the questions would be, did you manage to measure the amount of data that was transferred from the failing machine or machines to the new node, to the one that keeps the redundant information? So how much data, how many pages, how much data was sent to those machines? First, second, over what period of time did you carry out the test? So if it's 99.9% 99.99999% available. Did you perform the test over a couple of days or over a couple of months, or how did you perform the testing to test the availability over a longer period of time, or how was this simulation done, if it was done, in terms of simulation, but it's a real environment? And third, why do you think that the engagement of the network adapter in all scenarios with 1, 2, 4, or 8 failing machines, you had somewhere from 4.4 or 4.6 all the way to 6 or 7% only? So why is this a low usage of the network adapter? In other words, have you tried to perform the same process without the MD5 or in some other way, and to test how much data would be sent over the network in the classic way?
Okay.
I think maybe you can see the table, because I think
Yeah.
that all the questions
but,
were in the table about the bandwidth, about the time, about
in this table, I give the number of pages that are transferred for each every time that one of virtual machine has was shut down.
failed.
Was failed. When one virtual machine has failed, in every internal is given the number of pages. This work I have done for every experiment, but I haven't illustrated here to reduce the complexity in the presentation. But in every experiment that I have realized, I have given the number of pages that are needed to transfer from field host to other host of this environment. The second question is related with
How many time you have spent?
how many times. I have tested the performance of system in different time, maybe in difference with 1 week, etc. And in conclusion, I have get this result.
I can add something just to clarify 3 issues that you rose up. So related to number of machines which is migrated, as it looks here, there are the number of escalated up from 1 to 8 virtual machines, and they are referred to 2 hosts. And the number of pages which you can see here is 1 page is 4 kilobytes. So you can count based on the number of page time 4 kilobytes. You can count the bandwidth at overall. These are the number of pages which are left. As Eda mentioned in her presentation, those pages belong to dirty pages. Why? Because the free pages are read-only pages, and they can cross throughout only one hit. And what is left is just dirty pages which are running, and they are modifying. And this is a bandwidth that should be evaluated. About the time, as it looks, the downtime. The downtime is escalated up based on the number of virtual machines. If we increase the number of virtual machines, we expect that the time will be increased too. Why? Because by increasing more than 1 virtual machine, more memory should be transferred.
Interesting topic, and I want to congratulate to you and also to your mentor, Professor Biljana Percinkova, for your great job. I'm not, I'm economist, but it's
But
very...
you can see in the part of business,
Yes.
and by part of cost, return of investment, and so on. Yeah.
But I see that this doctoral dissertation is a really great job, like the professor said also. I will ask you some general question about virtual technology, virtualization. What is the future of
of the usage of this? One general question.
It may apply in every field that we want. This because we can reduce the cost of spending a large number of hardware. We can use only one that have high capacity, and to use this for different to create different virtual machines and use them by different users.
Also detailed like colleagues, but more so general one. So first I want to congratulate you for the fluent presentation. So and for the contribution in this dissertation. My question is in fact related with Professor Biljana's question. If I, for example, if I would be in a head of IT department and I would wish to use virtualization, what kind of advantages or benefits may count? And on the other side, what kind of disadvantages should I take into consideration when implementing some virtualization? So my job as head of IT department is, to create such an environment to make sure that in the company everybody can communicate or can have services which are always available and things like that. So what would you suggest in this case? So first, can you mention some benefits or advantages of virtualization in general? And if you can point out any disadvantage that I should take into consideration.
In a business, everything is related with finance, and virtualization is a good tool to use in your business.
To reduce cost. Reduce cost, okay. That's money.
Clear.
The cost of setting up a network. The disadvantage are...
So you mean the only advantage is only...
No, not
cost,
only the advantage is the cost, is the availability to use the capacity of the hardware. We can use a centralized hardware. It can be used for different machine. So the virtualization will give you this opportunity. And on the other hand, we can say an advantage is the security issue, because as we mentioned here, if if happened any fail of system of any virtual machine that you have set up, all the other processes will migrate to others. So the time, you will have everything up. So if you will not have a virtualization environment, if an disaster or if any of your PC fail, you may not have service.